Hey guys, Dustin here. It's time for another indie review here on Horroritis, and today we're looking at Eternal Code. Eternal Code, written and directed by Harley Wallen, is about a girl who enlists the help of a homeless veteran after her parents are kidnapped to keep her mom from interfering with a corporate merger that revolves around technology that may just grant eternal life. The movie currently sits at an IMDb rating of about 6.3, with some less than favorable reviews asking how it could get so high. So let's take a look at it, and I'll give you my honest review. First, let's start with what this movie is and isn't. It's a low-budget indie film, and that means it comes with all of the indie movie trappings, and a lot of times it just surprises me how many times people will watch a movie that's an indie movie and they'll expect like a movie studio budget. Most of these things are people just making art that they're passionate about, and if you're not down with that, then there's probably a remake somewhere that'd be better suited for you. I mean, I don't want to get preachy about this stuff, but you really have to know what you're getting into. If it isn't for you, you're going to have a bad time. Next, it's not a horror movie, which makes it an odd choice for this channel, and I'm going to circle back to that point later because I think it plays a big part in why people are so split on this movie. It does have a lot of, hey, I know that guy, and that's enough to get me started generally. I don't know how many movies I've sat through because they've had Robert Englund, Brad Dourif, or Corey Feldman in them. At this point, I feel like Corey Feldman owes me something. I just don't know what. So, getting back on track, this movie does have Billy Wirth in it, and the last time a lot of us saw him... It also has Richard Tyson, who was once killed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in an elementary school bathroom. It also has Birch from People Under the Stairs, and Mel Novak, who has been the villain to many martial arts action stars since the 70s. Clearly, this is enough to get me invested, and the fact that these guys are professionals with years and years in the business shows me that this should not be amateur hour. Example, Billy Wirth taking falls when he didn't need to, just so his co-stars would have something to react to. Or maybe Mel Novak being able to play dead so well that some of the cast and crew thought he might actually need help. According to director Harley Wallen, this allowed them to add a long push to the shot list where I imagine they would have probably just cut away before. So we've got a promising premise, veteran actors who know what they're doing, so why the hate? Well, there's little things like characters just showing up for one scene and then never being seen again, or a cooking scene that, while fitting the plot, just feels out of place, almost like a grocery store commercial. But honestly, if I hadn't watched the movie 3 times, maybe 4 times, I've watched the movie a few times. If I hadn't watched it so many times, I wouldn't have even noticed. So those things really don't stand out to me, or at least they didn't in the first and second viewing. The problem, I think, with this movie is that it doesn't quite know what it is. It's listed as an action movie, and while it does have some action, there's not a whole lot. We have a badass protagonist who we expect to see kicking ass through the whole film. Unfortunately, he kicks very little ass. The first scene, for example, sets up multiple elements for the rest of the movie, and just happens to include an altercation. Our hero saves a woman from being attacked and punches a guy that's 2 times his size, more or less. And that's it. It's a punch. And then it's over. And that's about the level of action that you can expect through the rest of the movie. We also keep hearing a lot about this amazing technology that's going to allow people to transfer their consciousness from one body to another, but we see very little of it. And that, I think, is a shame. What we do see in this movie is a lot of interpersonal relationships, people overcoming adversity, learning to see the world in a new light, and battling their demons. To me, this movie feels more like a drama. Sure, it's a drama with kidnapping and murder, which is always nice, but a drama nonetheless, and if you go into it thinking that way, then you're going to feel more comfortable throughout this movie. And that's not a bad thing. Just don't go into this movie expecting Jason Statham levels of action. I mean, there's action, but I think it takes a back seat to the character arc that the director had planned out for the main character. Again, that's not a bad thing. To be honest, I wanted more of the brain-swapping technology. If director Harley Wallen made a movie set in the same universe, maybe with some of the same characters or villains, set around that part of the story, I would be there in a heartbeat. That would be the movie I would want to see. And while this wasn't my ideal movie, because I'm a horror addict, and, I don't like to say that I'm one note, but I do favor horror over most everything else, this wasn't a bad movie, and it has got me interested to see some more of Harley Wallen's movies, which I fully intend to do. So that's my review for Eternal Code. If you want to check it out, I'll make sure there's some links below where you can find it. And that's it for this video. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, whatever. We're available on YouTube, Facebook, and BitChute. So whatever you have to do on those platforms, do that, I guess. So until next time, I'm Dustin. This was Horroritis. And until next time, keep it creepy. Really do feel like Corey Feldman owes me something for Demonic Toys vs. Puppet Master.